On today's episode of Anime Afterthought, My Hero Academia episode 73, Temp Squad. I'll say one thing's for sure, these Yakuza guys definitely are ticking time bombs with very short fuses. And it doesn't help that there's a psychotic woman running around playing with matches. Now last we left off, we got an amazing battle between Fat Gum Kirishima against the 8 Bullets, Rappa, and Tengai that ended in spectacular fashion. But of course our mission is far from over. Yes, the 8 Bullets are only there to stop our true objective, which is to rescue Eri and take down Overhaul. But this is definitely easier said than done. Starting out today's episode, it actually turns out the Kirishima Fat Gum battle isn't over. Yes, Rappa and Tengai are down, but definitely not out. Rappa still wants to go a couple more rounds with Fat Gum, but at this point, everyone's super exhausted. Rappa acknowledging Kirishima not as a kid, but as a true man. So Rappa decides Kirishima needs a little R&R. Of course, Tengai's not having any of this shit, but who cares? He's too weak to even throw up a barrier, which Rappa puts him down lickety-split. And this is where we get a little bit backstory into Rappa and how he got intertwined with Chiha Saikai. See, Rappa was actually an underground MMA fighter. Yes, the mixed martial arts where it was not only full contact, but the full use of your quirks. Until one day, Overhaul came and challenged this guy to a fight. In an instant, Rappa was dead, and then alive again. Seeing Overhaul's quirk up close and personal should have anyone quaking in their boots, but of course not Rappa. Him joining Chiha Saikai was just a means to the end, giving him more opportunities to fight Overhaul, which he did several times over. I think 5 times in fact, each time losing. Now after a brief walk down memory lane, Rappa gives us a little info on what Chiha Saikai and Overhaul is actually up to. They want to rebuild the underground Yakuza organization, but they need money to do so. So if you're a villain and you hear that there is a drug out there that literally scares pro heroes, of course you're gonna pay top dollar for it. Obviously this is referring to the quirk erasing drug. The one, you know, made from Eri's blood or matter or whatever the fuck it's made from. It's made from Eri. I mean, let's just get that out of the way. So unlike the League of Villains where it seems their goal is just, you know, a mass disruption of society, literally just doing evil acts for evil acts, it seems Chiha Saikai just wants to rebuild this organization, bring it back to its heyday of this underground crime syndicate. And of course we see in this episode, we get a couple instances, you know, previously and a couple today that this big boss, you know, the one that seems to be out of commission, hooked up to a bunch of ventilators and shit, all that medical equipment, he does have a lot of influence on, I guess, the older members or, you know, the original members. I know obviously we see a glimpse of the big boss dude standing over Overhaul, and later in the episode when mocked, even Mimic goes fucking crazy. So maybe in a way they're trying to honor this dude who seems, you know, on death's door speaking. I have no clue what's going on, but hopefully we get more information on that. But going forward, we turn to the other heroes. Yes, going further down this hideout, it seems Mimic is about to run out of this quirk boosting enhancement drug. So he's making basically a last ditch effort to, you know, basically squash the entirety of the pro heroes. Obviously, Mirio is gonna be okay. He has intangibility. He can just fucking phase through this shit. So Mimic basically gives up on him. So he turns his attention to the other groups, tries to squash them. He's manipulating the tunnel and just like throwing walls after walls and just trying to literally squash these groups. Obviously, thanks to Rocklock's ability to basically lock down an inanimate object in a certain space, stop it from moving, is being very helpful. But of course, he has a limited, you know, range on the ability to actually, you know, how much he's actually stopping, for how long it's going to actually stop. Obviously, power too. If something's too powerful, he can't stop it. And the things he can't stop are left up to Deku. Yes, using shoot style, he is able to take down the walls coming at them, but this is definitely taking its toll. With Mimic running out of time, he sees 2 comrades, and I'm doing air quotes, and he decides to take this opportunity to split the group up into parts, each one dealing with its own, you know, new enemy. And who's this new enemy? Who shows up out of fucking nowhere? Yes, it is the League of Villains members, Twice and Toga. Both super fucking crazy. One literally has a split personality, and the other one is a hemophile. Is that the one that likes to drink blood? Or vampire? She's also wait, what's the one that likes to inflict damage? Is that masochist, or is that like being inflict damage upon? I don't know, but they're both fucking crazy as shit, and now they're the underlings of Chiha Saikai. Now I always wondered what happened with that conversation between Chizuki and Shigaraki. What happened? Well, it turns out, although on the surface it looks like Shigaraki is bending the knee, he's going to be, you know, the underling of Overhaul, or at least, you know, let him borrow some of his members. So up front, it looks like there's a collaboration going on. But we'll soon see, you know, after all the fighting has stopped for a little bit, that I think something's, you know, deeper going on. But before we get to that, let's get into some more of the action. With the heroes now separated, it looks like each one is going to take on, you know, a new opponent. We have Rocklock getting stabbed by Toga, and then Deku, you know, pounding down the wall to see, like, you know, her ability in action. action. Obviously, her ability is to, you know, consume blood, and she can take on the form of someone else. So we see this rock lock, you know, stabbed, bleeding on the ground. Aizawa is looking at him, and then the next thing we know, the fake rock lock, aka Toga, is gonna stab Deku, and Aizawa, using his powers, gives us this glorious scene of like Toga breaking through her, I don't know, is it mud or is it just like whatever the slime is that hardens, you know, to make this new appearance. She busts through it, fucking smiling like, oh, you remember my name? I love you, Deku. Like, remember, this is the kid she fell in love with during, you know, the training arc and shit. Like, oh fuck, like this is getting creepy. Meanwhile, Sir Night-Eye is taking on Twice, and the dude's fucking shit. Like the dude is way tougher than I thought he was gonna be. Like, holy shit. So Twice makes a duplicate of Rappa, and it looks, you know, it looks like it's gonna do some damage, and using a swift, you know, sweep of the legs, as well as throwing, you know, these super heavyweight support item, you know, stamper things at him, fucking throws him into the fucking wall, and he throws one at Twice, not only wrecking his max, but taking a chunk of his fucking ear out. Like, also, for being a skinny twig, the dude's fucking ripped as shit. Like, I didn't know Night-Eye was gonna be this badass. Like, he's got moves, like, but of course it makes sense. I mean, you be a sidekick to the #1 fucking hero, you gotta pick up some, you know, even if it's just like a 1%, you gotta pick up some skills. I bet he has seen some shit. But of course, this sends, you know, Twice going fucking crazy. You know how he thinks like his mind's gonna split apart and shit. Like, he sends him into panic. He needs to, you know, coalesce his mask. All the meanwhile, Mimic is watching this, and he's having, you know, trouble understanding what the fuck is up with these two characters. What is up with Toga? What is up with Twice? Like, what the fuck is going on with these two people? Like, I think he calls them like the new generation or the kids or whatever. Like, obviously he's old school Yakuza, and he's like, what the fuck is up with these two? He sections them off, and we get this very weird, like, psychedelic kind of dance between Twice and Toga, and it gives us a little flashback into what actually happened. Why I'm so dead set on, you know, the theory of something definitely is going deeper with Shigaraki and, you know, the League of Villains. Basically, he returns, you know, back to the hideout and says, hey, Toga, Twice, you're gonna go work for, you know, Overhaul. Get to it, hop to it. Twice, he is still, you know, reeling from the guilt that he thinks he got Magne killed, which I want to bring up. Can Overhaul still put Magne back together? Is it too late now? Is Magne dead? Like, he did it, you know, instantly with Rappa, but is it too late now? Like, can he make someone else compress his arm? Can he bring that back? Like, or is it just too late? Is there a time thing? I'm still, you know, going through it over in my head because we're learning about these quirks more and more, but we'll cut it there for now. Back to the actual flashback itself. They're calling him out. Like, boss, why would you want me to do this? Like, I need to, you know, this is the people that killed Magne. They took Compress's arm. Like, they came to our home turf, told us to bend a fucking knee. What's going on? Toga's like, hey, I joined the League of Villains, I mean, partly because of Stain, but because I want to be free and do what I want, and, you know, I don't want to do hard shit. I want to do what I want, when I want, how I want, blah, blah, blah. Like, I want to be free. Literally puts a knife to his neck, says, hey, we see him take off his fucking, you know, the hand mask. Twice, you've asked for, you know, what you could do to make amends for what happened. Like, you feel guilty. Like, this is one thing you can do. And, well, they're asking him why. Like, why, boss? Why us? Why us? Is like, well, I trust you. And we see this almost kind of like come to Jesus moments where the League of Villain, especially these two characters, are being super inspired by Shigaraki. Like, oh shit, he is starting a cult. He's turning into, you know, the supposed leader that All For One wanted, and he's becoming that. We see this very glowy moment, and they're like, it's hitting them in their head, like, oh fuck. So we turn back to, you know, now, back to the present, and they start fucking with Mimic. Like, I think their main goal is to, you know, get into Chihasaikai and just very passive aggressively or aggressively at some point, fuck them from the inside out. Like, just fuck them up. They start fucking with Mimic, you know, calling out the boss, like I said earlier. Like, they just start like ripping into him, and he goes fucking crazy. He's fucking like making everything fuck up. We see the underground tunnels, there's tons of waves going everywhere, fucking holes start popping out everywhere. He's like, I'm gonna fucking crush him, and that's how we end the fucking episode. Basically with, you know, everyone sliding down a fucking slide somewhere. Like, are we gonna get like a battle royale? Is that what he's just trying to siphon them off, or is he actually planning on, you know, crushing them? Like, I have no fucking clue, but seeing the mind games that Twice and Toga were playing with Mimic was fucking hilarious, and that's why I think there's a deeper thing going on. Maybe Shigaraki wants to usurp, you know, take them down from the inside out. Like, Shigaraki is, I think, our main villain. He is the new, you know, All For One. I see All For One coming back to a certain extent, but I think that our main baddie, just like our main hero, is gonna be Deku. It's Midoriya no matter what. Literally, he starts off the series saying, this is my story about how I became the greatest hero ever. I think Shigaraki is gonna be our big baddie, so there's no way he's gonna fucking bend it. He's gotta have a plan going on, because up to this point, even All For One said it, like, you're not like a really true leader. You go out there, shit goes wrong, you know, you don't have a good plan, but I think he's actually starting to, you know, change. So you formulate plans, do this. I have a good feeling like, I love this manipulation, like all this kind of like, it's almost like a mystery, like you have to try to solve things fucking going on. I'm just having a blast doing this. But I can't solely focus on that. No. With the preview of next episode, something is going on, something might happen, I don't know, but we see Lemillion, aka Mirio, finally make it to Chronostasis, Overhaul, and our main girl, Eri. What the fuck is gonna happen when he confronts the big baddie of this arc? I have no fucking clue. I have no fucking clue. Like, I just, like I said, I love today's episode. Today was fucking amazing. We got to see a very, you know, psychological, almost, it was funny to me, the way that they were fucking with Mimic. Like, it was hilarious. Like, that's the League of Villains. They're fucking psychotic. Like, imagine a whole League of Villains, you know, but everyone is like the psychotic level of the fucking Joker. It's funny to me. It's funny to fucking see that. Going forward, though, I have no clue what the fuck's gonna happen. Like I said, that preview is ridiculous. But honestly, I am at a feverish hype. Like, this series has been on fucking fire. So with all that being said, I honestly cannot wait for future episodes.